What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the PS5 career mode. This is episode number 9. And we start today's episode off with two players returning from their injury to first team training. Macaulay Bonne coming back from his broken toe he got a few months ago, and also Ilias Sher, who is returning from his minor injury he got in the last episode against Millwall. And a brief look at the league table. As you can see, 14 games to go in the championship. We're in 5th place, 3 points clear of Nottingham Forest in 7th, who are right now outside the playoffs, but we are 16 points off our first opponents today, Bournemouth, who currently lead the way at the top of the championship right now, 4 points clear of Watford in 2nd place as well. It seems pretty likely with 14 games to go that the Cherries are definitely going up automatically, if not as champions then at least in 2nd place. So this is going to be a massive test for our first game today. I knew I was going to be feeling the pressure straight away in this one on the back of the 3-3 draw against Reading, and I tell you what man, seriously, I really struggled in the first half of this game, but one golden chance, 32 minutes in, only chance of the game, falling to Kelman, 1-1 of Cook, great save by Asmir Begovic, turned over the bar and put behind for a corner. I felt for sure against the league leaders right now, the best team in the division, we'd probably get one chance in the game and we'd be under immense pressure for the majority of it. That was indeed the case, and 7 minutes after our golden chance, well, this is how it works in football, man. If you don't take your chances, you will get punished. The one chance we got, falling to Kelman, but then at the other end, minutes later, Josh King gets around Barbe, sprints clear 1-on-1. We know the Norwegian's got pace, and he's one of the top scorers in the division as he bangs in the only goal of the game as the Cherries win it by a single goal to nil. You know, statistically, it looked kind of even, but the majority of our shots were blocked and half-hearted efforts. Bournemouth were the better team in the game. King, again, one of the top scorers with the goal in that one, and as they now go 8 points clear of Watford at the top of the table, I think it's pretty clear with 13 games to go, they're definitely returning right back to the Premier League. And for our second game of today's episode, aiming to get back to winning ways after no wins in our last 2 matches taken on Middlesbrough, this was a massive game. 30 matches remaining in the championship, and if we were to lose this game with Brentford and Nottingham Forest and Middlesbrough themselves right behind us right now in the playoff positions, if we were to lose this one, we will probably drop out of the playoffs. And 37 minutes in, falling behind before former Millwall midfielder George Saville gives the Borough the lead. I gotta say, I was feeling an immense amount of pressure. I needed someone to step up and get us back on level terms. I could not afford back-to-back defeats here against fellow playoff hopefuls, and with 25 minutes to go in a game, a few chances, we only got the one. Kelman couldn't take his in the last game against Bournemouth, but this guy recently, oh my word, the future is very bright indeed. Yes, Charles Bull with his fourth goal, I believe actually, in the championship now, and another one for the 17-year-old. I love this aggressive run as well, you know, really assertive, spots a little pocket space, charges into the box like a ball does, and finds the back of the net with a first time finish as well. He already this season, since coming out of the academy, has rescued us 3 times. He scored 2 game winners and an equaliser here at the Riverside Stadium as well. Had to show you his stats after the game as well. He's now up by 2 ratings to 68 overall. You might have just noticed too, he's now got 5-star skills as well due to the development plan. And yeah, there's your confirmation. 4 goals and 3 assists in 9 championship games for the 17-year-old. When he came out of the academy, I was very excited. I even said very recently he might be the only great player, and I mean truly great player, to get out of the academy. Well, all I'll say is this: for the first one coming out, I'm very happy with what we've seen so far. He rescues us once again. So much pressure on the 17-year-old, and that's why for our following game against Preston, getting the start 5 minutes into the game, this was a worrying sight and a half. Charging down left-hand side, trying to step in to the middle of the area, taken down, and whilst he did soldier on for the majority of the first half, I was hoping he'd run off the injury, and therefore it might just be like a bruised ankle or a bruised knee or something like that. Instead, he had the injury sign next to his cursor for the entire match in the first half when I kept him on for that. So yeah, very concerned indeed, and that's why as the game was coming to its close in the first half, still tied at 0-0, Preston hitting the woodwork 21 minutes in. We had one late chance before the half-time mark. Charlie Kelman offloading to Ilias Sher, going through 1-on-1, really should have drilled it in, but failed to hit the target and put it wide over the bottom corner. I took no chances. Directly after this, I said to Charles, "Kid, we love you very much. You've been a difference maker so many times already." But as he puts his hands on the back of his head, he knew it. He knew something was wrong during the game. He didn't run it off. I had to take him off as a safety measure. I was not going to let him see get even more hurt and possibly get a really serious injury for the remainder of the season. So ball comes off. I was thinking second half, we've lost our teenage talent. We need someone else to step up. And Charlie said, Gaffer, don't forget before Bull came out of the academy, who was the teenage talent that was stepping up? It was me. I've not scored many goals this season, but trust me, I'll get a few more for you whilst Bull goes down. And what a finish there by Kelman as well. First goal in quite a while for the young American. Really needed that one, and we needed that one as well. Great little through ball to him, and what a finish through the legs of the goalkeeper there. Very sweet strike from the American. As we go a goal up, Charlie to the rescue this time, not Charles. And with 15 minutes to go, chance to double our lead, wrap the points up, will it down left hand side, spots the overlapping run of Omar Richards. I love how attack-minded our left-back is. He always storms down the left-hand side, cuts infield, stops the ball, beats his man and goes for goal, but sadly drills it just wide of the far post. He still looks for his first goal in a QPR shirt, but it's definitely coming. I mean, Omar Richards, man, that guy bombs down that left wing. He basically is a second winger in this team, but sadly still waiting for his first goal for the club. Regardless, 1-0 was the final score. We do get the win, but at what cost? Bull going down in the first half, forced off for injury. After the game, we saw the confirmation. Bull is out for 4 weeks. So it's not as bad as it possibly could have been. It's a sprained knee, and we will miss him for basically the entire month of March, possibly coming back for 1 or maybe 2 at the very most games at the end of next month. So yeah, very concerned about that. This guy has been different gravy since he's come out of the account. Different gravy? Have I ever used the expression different gravy since I started doing YouTube? Well, it's certainly accurate. He has been absolutely class since coming out of the academy, and one of our best players of the campaign. But we have got ourselves possibly another good youth player from the scouting. As you can see, 1st of March we do get a scouting update and an academy update as well. Jesse Mitchell, only 1 month for scouting, but that was enough for me to put him in the academy. 57 overall, 17 years old. The potential range is of course very, very big due to only 1 month's worth of scouting. When you do youth scouting, basically for those that have never done it before, as the scouting and the months go by, you get a much more accurate sort of range as to how good they're actually going to be in the future. But the first month or the second month is always going to be quite a big range. But yeah, he looks like he could be okay though. 6'2", low medium work rate to a defence-minded player. And whilst primarily he's listed as a right back, I think he's probably more suited to play centre back in this team. So yeah, decent little player there going into our academy, and hopefully he'll be as good as Bull. Big shoes to fill, of course. But you never know. But also look at the league table as well. As you can see, still in the playoffs, just. But I mean, we are literally just hanging on in there right now, man. Seriously, our form has been so inconsistent since around November time. We haven't had a really good patch in a long time now, and with no wins in our last 3 games, we really needed a response here against Sheffield Wednesday as the Owls would come and take us on in West London. And this guy's been pretty poor, but recently did break his goal drought as recently as the last game, and he makes it 2-2. Charlie Kelman puts us in front there and gives us the opening goal of the game very early and right before the break. The Owls trying to respond. Barry Bannon into Jack Marriott, who caused me all sorts of problems in this game, firing that shot just wide the post. So still leading by 1 and really needing to return to winning ways. I could not afford no wins in our last 4 games. I felt for sure if that was to be the case, we would drop outside the playoffs for the second game week of March. Golden chance for Andy to score his first goal for the clubs. He's coming in from Reading on transfer deadline day, firing that shot just over the bar as it was still 1-0. With 22 minutes to go, he finds Jack Byrne just off the bench. Wonderful little hold-up play to beat Tom Lees, and what a finish as well. And I literally just brought him off the bench. You'll see it on the bottom left hand side. I just made the change literally about 30 real life seconds ago, and as he was fed the ball for Andy, nice little bit of skill to beat his man, stops on a dime, turns, shoots and finds the back of the net to put us 2 goals up as well. And what's that saying? We said it a few times already this season. If you're going to score your first goal for your new club, make it a memorable one. First goal for Jack Byrne since coming in at the start of January on a free transfer from Shamrock Rovers, and I love the fact the camera's panned to me there. Cheeky little nod as if I knew what I was doing. Absolutely not. Byrne with a great finish though, and he's not had much game time since coming in January as well, just because I preferred the other players in our team to start ahead of him. He seems better when coming off the bench, but maybe now Bull is down, he'll get a few more starts in this team. Regardless, we would hold on to the win though. Jack Marriott scored a late one for the Owls with 10 minutes to go, but that was just a consolation goal. We would return to winning ways with a 2-1 victory. Again, lost a possession battle by a country mile, and that is one thing I'm really struggling with in this year's FIFA against the AI. In fact, it's been like that for a few years now. I always, not always, but most of the time I lose the possession battle to the opponents. I find it so hard to get the ball off them. But as we know, possession doesn't win your football games, but goals do. And after back-to-back wins for the first time in a very, very long time, serious relief after back-to-back wins there, we will take on Bristol City away at Ashton Gate for our final game of today's episode. And this was an absolutely massive one. Both teams in the playoffs right now. We're in 4th, the Robins in 5th, but only 2 points separating the sides with just a few games to go in the regular season. Both teams needed to get a result in this game, and 19 minutes in, well, with the ball going down from injury, I'm really hoping this could be the start of some special end of season form for Jack Byrne. He's been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to get some game time since he came in at the start of January. Now the ball's gone down. He got rewarded after coming off the bench to score in the last game with a start in this one for the first time, and he scores his second goal in 2 games to put us in front. Bristol City 0, QPR 1, and just before the break, still up by a goal. 3 goals in 3 games for Charlie Kelman. Mr. American, where have you been? Seriously, you haven't been in good form for so many months, but finally, the teenage talent is back to his best. 3 goals in 3 games, and maybe that's just it, you know? Maybe that's just it. We can only have one good teenager in good form at any time. Regardless, Kelman with a goal, massive one. You see the reaction on the sidelines there. I love that animated reaction there as the camera pans to me, because this is a big game, man. Seriously, 2 points separating both teams in the playoffs right now. Both teams could do with a massive win, and we were 2 goals up heading into the break. Second half begins, and 9 minutes after the restart, the Robins would get back in at half deficit. Callas heading in a corner with a bullet header, putting the Robins back in the game and back within a shout. But thankfully, directly after that goal, we tightened up and then some, showed exactly why we've got the best defensive record in the division, did not give the hosts another sniff at our goal, and held on for a massive 3 points. You know, it has genuinely been a very, very, very long time since we last beat a fellow team in the top 6, but finally we've got one at a crucial stage of the season as well. 2-1 the final score. We come through with the victory, and as you'll see in the championship table, it's squeaky bum time. We've got just 9 games to go, and as you can see, we're in 3rd place now, 8 points behind Watford in 2nd. So I'm not going to rule out possibly pipping the Hornets to automatic promotion, but that is of course going to be very difficult indeed. But we're now 6 points clear of Cardiff in 7th. We've got a little gap for the first time in a long time, and with just 9 games to go, we are on course as things stand to finish in the playoffs. That was this episode of the PS5 Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for watching. We hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the penultimate episode of Season 1 very soon.